All set, Albert.
Okay. I'm going to call the meeting of the West Warwick Pension Board in session Wednesday, January 12th, 2022 at 19:04 hours. We do pledge allegiance when we do a remote like this.
You can, it's up to you. You can
Yeah,
skip the two.
'cause, I mean,
if
not
you'd
everybody's
like,
got a flag.
whatever you'd like to do.
Right.
I just.
Albert, everybody can see you and you do have the flag behind you, so
Yeah, okay. Let's do that then. Okay. Next thing is pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Take a moment, say our thoughts and prayers for our service people aboard and in this country, for our public safety people throughout this country, with everything they're dealing with COVID and all the side effects of COVID. And hope that our transition to MERS goes nice and smooth. That's it. I know. Tracy, can you do roll call?
Yeah, Albert Hero,
Here.
Michelle Lombardi,
Here.
James Atchison,
Here.
Nathan Hannon,
Here.
Mark Knopf,
here.
Sherry Fournier,
Here.
and Edward Hathaway is not sworn in, so.
Okay. Okay, item E is,
Oh, Mr. Chairman, if you can just
Oh,
close
yep.
executive session, please.
yes, okay. You need motion for someone to read the law there to reaffirm closing the and sealing minutes of the executive session.
I'll make a motion to close the executive session and seal the minutes.
And I believe, Krista, we have to read that, the general laws, correct?
Just to open.
Just to open, okay. Motion's been made to seal and close the minutes and seal the minutes of the executive session.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close the minutes and close the executive session and seal the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item E is review and approval of prior meeting minutes from October 13th, 2021 and November 10th, 2021 and December 15th, 2021. Some of them there are just there to show that there was no quorum, that we did try to have a meeting.
Make a motion to approve. Seconded.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve item E, review and approval of prior minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'm going to look for a motion to move items L and M to this point in the agenda so that Mr. Williamson can state his business and then he will be able to leave without waiting to the end of the agenda.
I'll make that motion to move items L and M to the top of the agenda.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to move items L and M to after E. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so we'll jump over to L. L is discussion, action on Josh Polly's request for return of contributions.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to recuse myself from that item.
Okay. I can go here myself. Okay, Krista, you want to do what you said you were going to do?
Sure,
I
I can
shouldn't
give a
say it, I know.
summary.
Okay.
I said I would give a summary of this
Okay.
agenda item. Mr. Pauly is a former employee of the town of West Warwick who left employment, I believe, sometime in July of 2021. Mr. Pauly has put in for a application for a return of contributions that was calculated by the actuary. A question was then raised because at the time that the return of contributions was received, there were misdemeanor charges for vandalism pending against Mr. Pauly in the district court. That case has since gone to trial on January 5th, and the charges have been dismissed. So initially, the agenda item was on to discuss the applicable sections of the pension plan for the town of West Warwick and Rhode Island general laws that are potentially applicable to a situation that comes under what's typically referred to as an honorable service ordinance. In West Warwick, the honorable service ordinance is section 6.03 of the pension plan for police and fire. The current plan is the 2006 plan, but section 6.03 was amended by ordinance by the town council in 2012. It's ordinance 2012-7, which changed that ordinance to be called the Honorable Services to Town section. Generally, what that section provides for is that payment of an employee's retirement allowance or annuity benefits are payable for honorable services only. For purposes of this section, they define certain crimes that they identify as crimes related to his or her public employment. These crimes include committing, aiding, or abetting embezzlement of public funds, committing, aiding, or abetting felonious theft by a public employee from his or her employer, bribery in connection with the employment, or the committing of any felony by a public employee who willfully and with the intent to defraud realizes or obtains or attempts to realize or obtain a profit, gain, or advantage for him or herself, or for some other person through the use or attempted use of the power, rights, privileges, duties, or position of his or her public office or employment. West Warwick also goes through in their ordinance and discusses revocation or reduction of benefits. So the ordinance specifically addresses applications for pension benefits and whether or not, if there's a question about honorable service, those benefits can be either completely revoked or reduced in some way. West Warwick specifically says that the benefits can be revoked or reduced in accordance with this section if the employee is convicted or pleads guilty or nolo contendere to any crime related to his or her public employment, and those are the crimes I listed earlier, or is discovered to have been involved in an act of dishonesty, fraud, or other criminal activity in connection with his or her position with the town. Any conviction or plea by the employee or finding of involvement in an act of dishonesty, fraud, or other criminal activity in connection with his or her position shall be deemed to be a breach of the employee's contract with his or her employer. So the ordinance then goes on if the issue qualifies under that provision to discuss the process the board would have to go through, which would be that the board would initiate a civil action in Superior Court for the reduction or the revocation of those benefits. And if those benefits were then subsequently revoked or reduced, the next section of the ordinance provides that the employee whose benefits are revoked or the employee whose benefits are reduced is going to, pursuant to this section, be entitled to either a return or a pro rata return of his or her payroll deducted contributions without interest. In the case of a complete revocation. If it's a reduction, then it just says that they're entitled to the pro rata return of the portion of their contributions in an amount proportionate without interest. So at this time, the issue before the board is that the town is aware that the misdemeanor charges have been dismissed. And they have requested that the pension board, if you look at the agenda under B, hold the return of contributions in abeyance until the completion of the criminal trial. So that has been done. So that is no longer what the town is requesting. Section C is that the town has informed the pension board that they're objecting to a distribution of a return of contributions, and they're providing notice to the pension board of their intent to seek a preliminary injunction or temporary restraining order, preventing and prohibiting the pension board from acting on the request for a return of contributions. The plan, just to be clear to everyone, in section 9.01 does provide for a return of contributions if a member's service with the town is terminated for any reason other than death or retirement. 9.01 says that the member is entitled to payment equal to their contributions plus credited interest to the first day of the month in which their service is terminated, or later the first day of the month in which the payment is made. So typically under a return of contributions on 9.01, the person would get back the contributions that they have made and credited interest until the day that the first day of the month the payment is made. If the section 6.03 is found to apply, then the issue as far as a return of contributions is concerned would be whether or not those contributions would be returned with or without interest. So the matter before the board right now is whether or not is really the board, the action the board wants to take on Mr. Pauly's request for a return of contributions, whether or not the board wants to vote to return his contributions under section 9.01, and whether the board finds that section 6.03 or any of the Rhode Island general laws referenced in the agenda apply to this particular scenario. And I think I've summed that up, but certainly Attorney Williamson can fill in any blanks that I've left.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, specifically the town is seeking a short time frame in which to determine whether or not they're going to bring a civil action against Mr. Pauly. The council last met on January 4th. The trial in the district court occurred on January 5th. He was acquitted. The town is looking at a civil issue of civil litigation to recover funds to the damage allegedly caused by Mr. Pauly's actions within the scope of his employment. So although we don't have any objection to you granting his request for relief, we are seeking a stay on the execution of that relief for a minimum of 30 days to allow the town to address the issue. And if the town does address the issue, the next concern for the town would be filing for a pre-judgment attachment in the civil litigation. This matter will be on the council's agenda next Tuesday evening. So we should be able to report back as to where the town is going after Tuesday's meeting. In the event the town council does not wish to pursue civil litigation, and then the stay can be lifted and the monies can be returned to Mr. Pauly. If the town decides to go forward with its civil litigation, then we would ask that the stay remain until such time as a court could hear the prayer for relief related to a pre-judgment attachment. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them or try to answer them.
Anybody have any questions or discussion? Joe?
Yes.
Nope.
Yeah.
Is Mr. Pauly in the audience?
Nope.
Okay.
I think it makes sense to take it up for a vote. And then if approved, stay distribution of those funds for 30 days to see if the town council brings an action and if judge enters an order, either attaching the funds or enjoining distribution of those funds. I think it makes sense given the facts and circumstances here.
I have I've just got a concern with, he's been found innocent. The charges were dropped, so he's entitled to his money. I understand Mr. Williams and the town's point of view of what they're looking for, and that itself, I have no problem with them looking to do what they want to do. My only concern is that we give him his money he's due. Only thing I can ask both of the lawyers that are here tonight is if we give it to him and you decide to go to court and try to stop it, and can you take it back from him once we give it to him?
And very briefly, Mr. Chairman, if the money is given to Mr. Pauly, the fear is the money would be gone. And even if the town was to be able to get a civil judgment against him, he would become judgment-proof or attempt to dismiss it to a bankruptcy proceeding. It would make sense to keep the money where it is right now until the town makes it a determination. If the town does determine to go forward with civil litigation, the next step would be to go before a judge on a pre-judgment attachment so we can hold on to the money. In the event that does not occur and the money is returned to him, then he can do what he wants with it. Given the fact that he has put in for this a return of contributions, I think since either July or August of 2021, another 30 days is not going to damage Mr. Pauly at all.
In all fairness to both sides, the only reason he hasn't gotten his money to this point is because of just the quorum issues that we've been trying to address. Otherwise, he would have had it long before now. So, in all fairness, to a certain point, I don't think it's fair to Mr. Pauly not to give him his money now because he would have already had it had we had a quorum. Again, this is just my viewpoint. And I understand both sides. I'm just trying to stay fair and neutral and do what we should do. And again, it's just my one opinion. We have a board, so everybody will vote when we take a vote here, I'm assuming very shortly. I just, it's not his fault we didn't have a quorum in that, and it's no different than what the council has stated when I was there at the last meeting and spoke up about that. Some of the people we're going to address later on tonight here, they had their issues and their problems, and it was because the board couldn't get things done. So I just feel we shouldn't make him wait any longer, especially where all the charges were dropped. And again, that's just my opinion. I'm looking for any other comments or anything anybody else wants to say anything about it before we go and do a vote.
I don't have any.
Jim? For you.
No, I'm sorry. I don't have any other ones, from my perspective, I think it's just kind of based on the timing here of the criminal action, being acquitted right before that. I think personally, if it were still pending, I would say to hold on to the funds. And I think that, us approving it, but, just delaying the distribution for 30 days, I think that's, a happy medium. In my opinion, again, it's just my personal opinion between, the risk of distributing funds that's, the pension holders' monies to someone who, may or may not be liable for some claims brought by the town. you know, I think it makes sense to approve it. So, you know, we're giving it to you. We're just giving, essentially giving the town council the opportunity to react to the recent, you know, very recent acquittal as part of the criminal claim. And I think that kind of, you know, is a way to kind of account, you know, fairly for both sides. And there's been a delay already in doing it. Not that, you know, further delay is a past delay is a reason for a further delay. But I think it does minimize, you know, the risk by approving it, but just holding off on distributing until, you know, court rules one way or the other. They can make the ultimate determination as to, you know, the facts and circumstances and entitlement to hold the funds or not hold the funds.
Thank you, sir, for your viewpoint. Does lead me to one more question. I say one more, I might have more, try to keep it to one. For Krista and Mr. Williamson. If we were to do a vote here and you said 30 days, so there's a town to get, go to court and get an injunction if they can have that and see how that works out. If we were to do something to give you a set number of days and you couldn't get it, and then we could give it to them, is that something we can do?
If I may, Mr. Chairman, the anticipation is if the council approves this next Tuesday, we would probably file the complaint and be in court within the next, I would say, either the next week or the week after. I don't think we would need to complete 30 days, but because of what's been going on with COVID, whether or not we can get a duty judge to hear us, there are other complications and considerations. That's why I think 30 days might be appropriate. But if the town does wish to go forward with civil litigation, I would think that we would be acting as quickly as possible so the parties would know where they stand as quickly as possible.
Well, that was going along in my train of thought. What happens if you do that and because of all the different things with COVID or COVID related or the effects of COVID that you can't get a hearing? How long could this drag out?
Well, I don't think it's going to drag out because we would be filing for emergency relief anyway. So, I mean, I think sooner or later we would be able to get a judge to hear this case. I don't think it'll take 30 days. The complaint in and of itself and the entire litigation obviously is not going to be taken care of in those 30 days. The only issue would be the motion for a prejudgment attachment.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or discussion from anyone? Okay. I'd like to do a vote by roll call. Do we need to do a motion for that, Krista?
Yeah, you need someone to file, to do a motion. There's no motion pending.
Okay. I would like to have someone do a motion to do a vote via roll call.
I'll make a motion.
Al, there's no motion.
You have to come up with the motion.
Right, there is no motion.
To whatever, and
Yeah.
then go to a roll call vote.
I can't make the motion, correct?
Correct.
Right, so I'm just asking for someone to make that motion to do those things.
Okay.
So I would like to make a motion to conduct a roll call, correct?
Vote.
Vote.
Motion's been made to do a roll call vote.
But there isn't a motion, Mr.
what?
Chairman.
I'm sorry.
For what?
There is no
Oh.
action item
Sorry.
had before
Okay,
the
never
board.
mind. We had it's gotta be seconded, correct?
No, I'll make a motion to approve the return of the contribution to Mr. Pauly with interest, but stay the distribution of those funds for 30 days.
Get that?
And to do it via roll call vote? Is that all one?
Mhm.
What was the last part, sir?
And to do it via roll call vote.
Okay. I have a motion.
I second the motion.
A motion made and seconded to grant Mr. Polly's return of contributions, but do a stay for 30 days. And done by a roll call vote. All in
Just
favor?
to be clear, Mr. Chairman, the motion was to approve the return of contributions with interest.
Interest and hold
Sorry,
for
with interest.
distribution for 30 days.
And hold it for 30 days. Got a motion made and seconded.
Michelle seconded.
Yep, okay. All in favor?
The clerk, you asked for a roll call vote,
Oh,
We're
Mr.
gonna
okay,
do
Chairman.
all right, okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Go ahead. Yep.
Okay. Michelle Lombardi,
Agree.
James Atchison,
Aye.
I couldn't hear what he said.
he said aye. It's
Aye.
agree.
Okay, all right.
Nathan Hannan,
Aye.
Mark Knott's accusing. Sherry Fournier
Aye, agree.
and Albert Hero.
Approve, agree.
And Ed can't vote.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so the vote was unanimous. As the motion was stated. Second part of it. Okay, next part is M, which has been moved up, is discussion and action on Diane Kelsey versus the town of West Warwick, KC 2016-0776.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, that agenda item is on at the request of the town solicitor, who has asked to have the opportunity to provide the pension board with an update on this litigation.
Okay, Mr. Williamson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This matter, for all intents and purposes, has been resolved. The town council has accepted the terms and conditions of an offer of settlement of this disputed matter from plaintiff Diane Kelsey's counsel. And pursuant to the collective bargaining agreement, the pension documents and the state law, the town council agrees with the pension board as it relates to their interpretation of the consent judgment that was entered in case KC 2012-1000, which is Apolonio versus the town of West Warwick. And pursuant to a cost benefit analysis, there will be a payment of attorney's fees to Mrs. Kelsey's lawyer. That'll come from the town's the finance department. However, there is an additional part of the agreement wherein the town agreed that Mrs. Kelsey and Mrs. Kelsey alone would be permitted to receive the cost of living adjustment retroactive back to, I believe it's 2019. The first 5 years, she would get 2%. The next 5 years after that, she would get 3% per year. Obviously, because of the reduction in her monthly benefit or annual benefit, it's clearly on a cost benefit analysis, it benefits the town to accept this settlement, so not to have to pay additional funds. So the town council and the town pension board are on the same page as it relates to their interpretation of the consent judgment. And we're just providing this to you as an update. There's no need for any action of the pension board, but if there are any questions, I will be happy to answer them.
Any questions from anyone? Mr. Williamson, thank you for your review of what we have, what you have. done
Thank
there.
you. And Mr. Chairman, if I may be excused, I would thank you for that.
Yes, sir, you can may.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good
Aye.
night.
Good night. Thank you.
Okay. Item F, review of Rockland and Clearbrook's monthly expense and portfolio status for the previous month. All right. First, we'll start with Clearbrook. Their report for November 30th, 2021. Let's see. Market value as of November 30th, 2021 is, for the total plan is $50,261,102. Total cash that's available through citizens that we have it in is $4,328,000 and $4,328,301. I know there's a couple of people out there that always ask about the alternatives. They are $6,939,445. That's as of November 30th, 2021. And that's all we have. We didn't get the other ones, correct, Tracy?
No, that's the last one that they just came in. They were in the mail.
Okay.
So I don't have December yet. You can read Rockland now, December or November.
Okay, Rockland, this is reported from November 1st to November 30th, 2021. Beginning market value is $49,366,379.52. Market value is November 30th, 2021 is $47,324,499.70. Year to date, the market value has it has gone up to $51,611,206.11. But as of November 30th, at beginning of November, this was at end of November, it was the $47,324,499.70. Do show a loss in this period for long-term realized capital loss of $9,037.57. Everybody else is on the plus side. Any questions from anyone? Okay. Item G, discussion action regarding payments of bills. First one is Olin and Penza for Krista Schmitz, our attorney, while G1A is monthly legal services for pension board counsel, file MBF 7372, general file, September 2021, 8 hours, $1,387.50. October of 2021 is 12.5 hours. That amount is $2,294.00.
Making a motion to approve one bill at a time, or do you do it in its
Yeah,
entirety?
this one
at
we're
the end?
gonna
Well,
do.
this one we usually do together because it's the same file, 2 different months, but you could do it either way, whatever way you guys want
I
to
just
do
wanna
it.
keep it moving for you.
I would do one
File.
bill at a time, but we could do both files and just state both files that would need the amount,
Mhm.
and we've done that in the past. It's the same file, it's
Mhm.
just 2 different months. There's a quorum inability.
I'll make a
If that's a
motion
word.
to approve the payment of the 2 monthly bills as described.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve item G1 for Olin and Penza for September's 2021 on the file 7372 for the amount of $1,387.50. And that same file number for October of 2021, $2,294.00. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item G2, Howard E. Nyhart Company. A is invoice 017-1342, actuary and administrative, excuse me, services from October 1st, 2021 to October 31st, 2021. There was 8 hours of time for $2,023. Invoice B is invoice 017-1341, actuary and administrative service from October 1st, 2021 to October 31st, 2021. $2,240.00. Tracy?
Yes,
That doesn't seem right. You got two different invoice numbers, but it's covering the same period and doing the same
but it could
service.
be for different calculations.
Is that what it is? I just,
So the first one is for
Funding.
certain ones, and
It's
then
the
the
funding.
second ones, yep.
and then the other one. I just want to make sure before we do that. that's
One's
all.
for the preparation of the report,
Yeah,
and the other one's for calculations, but they're both from October.
okay, I see it. All right. I just want to make sure before we do.
Yep, that's fine.
All right.
I'll make the motion.
We got one more to go, yep. Item C.
I'm sorry, I
Sorry,
thought you
let
just
us see.
did that one.
Yep, okay. We'll give you a break, you're new. C is 017-1899, actuary administrative service from November 1st, 2021 to November 30th, 2021. That amount is $4,950. The total of the three invoices comes up to $9,213.
Now I'll make the motion to authorize payment of the three NIHA invoices as described in the amount of $9,213.
Seconded.
Motion made and seconded, approve item G2 for Nyhart Company in the amount of $9,213.00. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item H, discussion action to vote on approval of pension application. One is Deborah Graham, Parks and Recreation, ordinary disability, 3/23/21. The amount is $1,789.83.
These have to be individual.
Make a motion to approve the pension application for Deborah Graham, ordinary disability in the amount of $1,789.83.
Seconded.
Motion made and seconded, approve item H1 for Deborah Graham in the amount of $1,789.83 for an ordinary disability. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. H2, Don Patello, Fire Normal, 7/9/2021, in the amount of $4,284.08 as Quattro to Joanne Patello. For her monthly amount would be $1,074.42. Krista?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if I may speak, do you have a
Well,
question?
I was gonna ask a question, but you might be reading my mind, which is not a good thing, but go ahead.
Sure. And Mr. Vitello, I know is in attendance, and certainly can speak to this as well. First off, I know Mr. Vitello has been waiting a long time for this agenda item to be heard, and I appreciate that he's here and his patience with the board. The NIHART has performed a calculation of these benefits based on a 2009 Quadro agreement between John and Joanne Botello. This calculation has been done. However, if you look at the calculations by NIHART, they have calculated Joanne Botello's benefits to I'm just trying to read from the thing, that she's entitled to a monthly benefit of $1,074.42, calculated as 50% of Mr. Botello's accrued interest benefit as of August 20th, 2008. And then it goes on to state that the benefit is payable until Joanne Botello's death. That is an issue with the terms of the pension plan. The issue is that there is no provision in the West Warwick pension plan that allows for payment to an alternate payee after the death of the participant. The only payments that we have that are allowed under Section 7 or Section 8 of the plan are to survivor benefits or to specifically named payees in a situation of a Section 8 election, or excuse me, an Article 8 election. This quadro, the way that it's drafted, it does provide in the language of the quadro that Joanne Botello will receive these benefits. And in the event that the participant dies after receiving his pension, the alternate payee shall continue to receive benefits as determined in paragraph 2. And the benefit is payable to the alternate payee until the date of the alternate payee's death. However, that's not something that the West Warwick Pension Plan provides in their language. The quadro does also go on to have a paragraph in it that discusses that it's specifically understood that the quadro order will not require the plan to provide any type or form of benefit or any option not otherwise provided under the plan. However, this is something that I feel needs to be addressed. At that being said, I understand that Mr. Botello has been waiting a long time to receive his benefits. And I would recommend to the board that there are solutions that could be done if the board were willing that do not involve Mr. Botello waiting any longer to receive any benefits. One such option would be that the figures could be tentatively approved as calculated by NIHART, subject to being potentially recalculated after there's been a review of the provisions of the quadro and the provisions of the plan, or something along those lines. But the quadro itself, it doesn't comply with the plan as far as the survivor benefits because it does make that benefit payable until Joanne Botello's death. And I have not conducted an in-depth analysis of the document. I haven't been instructed to by the board, but I did just wanted to take a look at it when I saw the calculation come back from NIHART, just to address some common issues that I know that we have had in the past with other documents like this. I
think it's just by coincidence, but another firefighter we had basically the same thing as this and it was the same issue. I'm not sure if I remember correct, but didn't we send a letter to the lawyer and stating that couldn't collect till the passing of her, and we never did get a response back, so I don't think they challenged it. Is that correct from what I'm saying?
I believe so. It's been a few years, but my recollection of that issue was that there was correspondence sent that instructed that the quadro would have to be amended to fit the terms of the plan as far as the survivor issues and payments that are made after the death of the participant. I remember that being the same issue in that case, yes.
Okay.
And I don't know, Joe, if Mr. Botello would like to speak. I don't know that he can if he isn't allowed.
Joe?
Yeah, John's here, he can speak.
Oh,
Go ahead.
good.
John?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm asking what would be amended for the quadro?
So the issue is just the payment of the benefits to Joanne Botello in the event that you were to predecease her. And I hate to be so morbid, but the issue comes up that our pension plan documents are payable for the lifetime of the participant. So upon your death, your benefits would cease to exist. And there isn't a formula that allows for an alternate payee to continue getting paid past the date of your death. There are things that can be done. The actuary can create a different calculation, or there are insurance things that could be purchased, and there's all sorts of options to deal with as far as what would what yourself and Joanne Botello would like to agree to as far as either amending the quadro or coming to an agreement that provides for those benefits after the time of your death. But the quadro as drafted right now, it just provides that those benefits continue, and under this plan, they won't.
Quick question. When my father passed away with his pension benefits, his spouses were cut in half to her, and she still collects that. That doesn't continue with this type of benefit?
John, was
No.
there a quattro? I don't think there was there?
You know what, Mr. Chairman, I think you are correct. There was none. She was a married spouse, so you're right. So.
Right. So
what-
that's the problem. So and the reason it creates a problem is I'll go on happier notes as opposed to talking about your untimely death. And I apologize that that's the topic. That if you were to get remarried and then at the time of your death, your new spouse would be entitled to survivorship benefits. And that's what Article 7 of the plan would address, would be survivorship benefits for a current spouse. It just doesn't have a provision for an alternate payee for an ex-spouse. So that's why that piece of the quadro is a problem.
Okay, I understand now. Thank you for clearing that up. All right, you are correct. So what alternative do we have? Are these going to be explained and sent out to both Joanne and I as to our options? Or how do we fix this? I know she's not on the meeting. I know where she is. She's next room over from me, but she can't come to the phone. So what options do
Sure.
we have, and how would it be discussed?
So this is an issue that has come up for this board before. So if the board were to authorize me, I would certainly be able to communicate with both you and Joanne, and then we could communicate with the attorneys who handled the order and the quadro as far as what works best for the two of you on amending it to conform to the plan.
Krista?
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Chairman, go ahead.
In doing that, that's all well and good, but is that going to delay his getting his money now? Can we?
So that's why I'm trying to think of some creative options, because I understand there has been a significant delay, and I don't want to delay any further than we have to. One option that the board would have, if Mr. Botello agreed, would be to tentatively approve the payment amounts and the split among the two parties, subject to a potential recalculation after the quadro is reviewed in order to bring it into conformance with the provisions of the plan. So basically, if you wanted to try and just approve these figures and the payment for now, and then subject to either the benefits might increase depending on what the parties decide, or they might decrease depending on what the parties decide. And then the plan could either pay back the retroactive payment or recoup the overpayment, however the chips may fall.
Can it be one motion to tentatively authorize that and authorize you to work out the resolution? What's the resolution?
Typically, we do two, just one to just so that the record was clear about the figures being approved, so that can go to the bank, and then another to authorize me as counsel to discuss this with the two parties and give them their options as far as resolving the future payment issue, because the figures won't likely change significantly depending on the different options that the parties pick. Because usually what the actuaries do to go through and figure out how to calculate these figures, if they're doing it on the basis of, they call it measuring lives. So it'd be one person versus two people. If there were very, very big age gaps between the people, it could make a difference actuarially. But if the ages of the two parties are close, I wouldn't anticipate that the figures would change greatly.
There's only a year's difference. in age, so. And so if by doing that, like you say, there won't be a big difference amount, but so if there's an overpayment or underpayment, that's gonna be just figured out in the next monthly pension, and it'll be just adjusted, correct?
Exactly. It would just be adjusted to reflect whether or not we owe extra money to either of the parties or they owe extra money to us, however that agreement works out.
John?
Yeah, I'm fine with that, Mr. Chairman. I will relay the message to Joanne as soon as this vote is taken care of, and I'll tell her to await letters and correspondence from Krista.
Okay, John, then that's what we're gonna do, all right?
Sounds good to me, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. We need a motion.
The amount on this, the 4284. Is that a total or is that?
That would be his monthly amount for his share.
Right. That would be his monthly amount, and Joanne's is the amount below that.
Thank you. Just looking at the letter
Oh,
describes
yeah.
it a little, what's circled is a little different. So I'll make a motion.
Well, what it does is because it has a proactive, I mean,
Oh, the little retro
Yeah.
amount, okay.
So I'll make a motion to tentatively approve the amounts as described to John Botello, benefit of 4284.08, and the Quadro Joanne amount in the amount of 1074.42.
okay. Motion's been
I
made.
would ask that the motion be subject to a recalculation and review, a recalculation by Nyhart after a review of the Quadro in light of the plan provisions.
We can do it all under the same motion, not two separate motions.
Well, because it's tentatively approving it subject to that review.
Okay, all right. Just making sure we dot our i's and cross our t's as you told me. All right. All right. Motion been made with the amendment by Krista.
Seconded.
Seconded, motion made and seconded to tentatively approve item 2, John Patello, the amount of $4,284.08. Quattro to Joanne Patello, the amount of $1,074.42. Subject to a review of the Quattro by NIR and whatever the figures adjustment might be. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Was Michelle opposed or was that a late aye?
It was aye,
Okay,
it's just it came in after.
yeah, that's why I wanted
Yeah,
to make
no,
sure.
it was aye,
Okay.
yeah. Number 3,
Do you guys want to authorize Chris to make another motion to authorize Krista to work with the two bodies?
I thought that, Krista, I thought that was all in that one motion. We need another one.
Yeah,
Okay.
you did
Correct.
the second one.
All right,
I'll make a motion to authorize Attorney Schmitz to discuss with Patellos and their council a resolution.
Seconded.
motion made and seconded to authorize Krista to go into discussion with the Patello's lawyers in regards to an adjustment on their Quattro. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, item 3, Camry Barnes School Normal, 9/29/21, the amount of $1,954.85.
Make a motion to approve the pension application of Kimmery Barnes normal in the amount of $1,954.85.
Seconded.
Motion made and seconded to approve item 3, Camry Barnes School Normal retirement amount of $1,954.85. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 4 is Michael Canberra, Department of Public Works, Occupational Disability, 7/1/21. There's a little bit, and what's written there is a little confusing, so I'm going to clear it up for everyone, just so they understand for the record how it works. Its offset ends on 1/1/23. It's on 2/1, he starts a partial of his pension amount, and then 3/1 starts the full amount. The offset was from workman's comp, so he's not going to be able to collect until 1/1/23, and then 2/1/23 is a partial, because there's just a little bit amount, and then 3/1/23 starts the full monthly amount. Did I say all that correct, Tracy?
Yeah, I think that's what the letter says.
Yeah. Well, I just want to make sure that everybody understands what we're voting on.
Because I didn't put all that.
It does get confusing.
I know.
So he collects a partial on January 1st, 2023, on February 1st, 2023, and then full March 1st, 2023.
Right.
No,
No, no.
no, he
that's-
collects
that's
nothing in January.
Nothing in January.
Okay.
That's when it
Yeah.
ends.
In other words, he got
Yeah.
he settled out with workman's comp.
Yep.
With a certain amount of money. So that, yes, but doesn't get his pension until
Wait.
that amount is, money's used up. There's gonna be, that ends at 1/1/23. It's, I guess there's a small figure difference. So 2/1/23 is only gonna be a partial of it is the pension amount for that month. Then the next one, 3/1/2023, will be his regular full amount.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions, or everybody understand? That I just wanted to make it clear so that, because the way it was written in there,
I
Tracy
put
and I
that
looked
in
at it, yeah,
Mhm.
you could interpret that a couple different ways. It is in your packet there, and they break it down for you, but I just wanted to just make sure it's on the record there, so people understand what they're voting on. Any questions on that?
Nope.
Okay, then I need a motion.
I make a motion to.
Oh, sorry, hold on.
Nope, I make a motion for Michael Kamara, DPW Occupational Disability, 7/1/2021 to start collecting. No, I'm said. No, start collecting 1/1/2023 due to offset.
2/1,
No, 2/1.
2/1.
Sorry, in the amount of $3,023.28.
Motion's been made.
Second.
I second the motion.
Motion made and seconded. Item 4, Michael Canberra, Department of Public Works, ordinary disability in the amount of $3,023.28. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, Maria. I'm not sure, I don't want to ruin the name. How you pronounce that?
Howie?
I'm just going to spell it Haughtey. I'm sorry, Maria. I don't want to ruin your name.
Mhm.
School, normal pension. The amount is pending. We haven't got the figures yet. What we normally do here for the new people is we make a motion to approve it pending the calculations coming in from IHOP. The employee approving it and signing off on it. And then when she does that, Tracy sends it to the bank. The following month, it's just put back on so that what the actual dollar amount is there for the record, and we just vote on it so you know what it is. This way they can get their money sooner without having to wait another month's meeting. Or 2 if we didn't have a quorum.
I'll make a motion to approve the pension application of Maria Hagee, I think it is. Schools normal and amount, an amount that's pending right now.
Seconded.
Pending, you have to add on there pending that she approves and signs off on it.
Sorry, yep. Make a motion to approve the pension application of Maria Hagee for schools normal in an amount that's pending, provided that she accepts the amount.
Seconded.
Motion made and seconded for item 5. Maria, I think he come close to it. Schools for normal pension and amount pending, her approval of it, and then signing off. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item I, discussion, action, vote, and return of contribution. First one is Carrie Nardello, Town Clerks, the amount of $12,519.89.
Is it done individually as well?
Yes,
I'll make a motion that vote to return the contributions of Kerry Nuttallillo in the amount of $12,519.89.
Second.
motion made and seconded to return contributions for Carrie Nardello, Town Clerk, in the amount of $12,519.89. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item I2, James Barber, wastewater in the amount of $3,198.97.
Make a motion to approve the return of contribution for James Barber at wastewater in the amount of $3,198.97.
Seconded.
Motion made and seconded, return of contributions for James Barber wastewater in the amount of $3,198.97. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 3, Anthony Petrarca, Department of Public Works, the amount of $2,364.81.
I'll make a motion to approve the return of contribution for Anthony Petrarca, DPW, in the amount of $2,364.81.
Seconded.
Motion made and seconded, to approve contributions returned for Anthony Petrarca, Department of Public Works, in the amount of $2,364.81. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, we've already discussed, so Chris, we don't have to do anything on that, right, for Josh Polly? Okay. Item 5, Deborah Duran, Duran, yeah, okay.
Darian?
Schools, the amount is pending, same thing as we've done before. You need a motion to approve it pending her approving of the figures, coming from the heart and signing off on them.
I'll make the motion to approve the return of contributions of Deborah Dudarian of schools in the amount pending approval of the recipient.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to return a contribution to Deborah Darian schools in the amount pending. And once she receives that amount, she agrees and signs off on it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Zachary Carpadillo, police. Again, the amount is pending. It would be the same thing as the last one.
I'll make the motion again for Zachary Capaldo of the Police Department for return of contributions and amount pending his approval.
Seconded.
Motion made and seconded for Zachary Carpadillo, you said? Okay. Capolo, all right. Police and the amount pending, when he gets his figures and he approves and signs off on them. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item J, that's already been done, because there was from last month's meeting that we didn't have a quorum, so that's all set. And
Nope, that one's,
Oh, that
one's still there, Al.
That's, yeah, it's about attorney files.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
this one's at my request.
Okay, all right. Discussion, and action, vote on legal files at Attorney Office of Olin Pension to State Municipal Employees Retirement System. Sorry. Which
That's
is known
okay.
as FERS. As I stated before, I had got emails regarding for somebody from the state, some of that, so I emailed them twice. I did it even through my state account and got no response back to what, if, and I said to that individual, if you're not the individual, then who in MERS I would contact, and I've never got a response back. So have you had any luck with anything on that?
I haven't done anything other than have the conference with Attorney Williamson earlier today. But I asked the clerk to put this on just because when my office took over as counsel for the pension board, one of the things that Attorney Fort did was to gather files from all over, from previous legal counsel and wherever he could find anything having to do with the pension board, and kind of assemble them together so that we would have the history of all the previous litigation and all the information on prior legal opinions and things like that. So in addition to housing my files at my office that deal with matters that my firm has had with the pension board, we also have the files of multiple previous pension board counsel and some original files relating to litigation that the town has been involved in. So what I wanted to do was just to put this out there so that the pension board is aware that we have all of this information, and B, because it wouldn't make sense once the transfer to MERS is complete for my office to be the repository of all this historical information. I just don't know where the proper place to be to kind of give it back, whether or not the town would want those boxes or if it's something that should be transferred to MERS as part of the transition. So I just wanted to put it out there and have the board consider potential options for all of that paperwork.
Do you think we could maybe get that at least brought to the table in that meeting in March that we talked about earlier with the council, the state and the pension board?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. It's
Okay.
certainly no emergency. I obviously would like to hold on to them as long as we're here because I use it as a resource. I just want to make sure that we've made plans for what to do with them, once that transfer happens.
June 30th, it's going to come fast. Don't worry about that. All right, we'll do that and we'll bring that up when that meeting is scheduled for the month of March. Okay, item K, discussion action vote on the 2022 meeting dates, which we normally do in December. So we need to do this and file it with the state. If you look at what we have there, is anybody have any conflicts, anything on the dates you see there? Just to note that if something does happen, it's something where the legal can't respond and that we attend a certain meeting and there is something that's there, we can always move them around at that point in time. But that's the tentative dates we have right there now. So if everybody's okay with it, nobody has a question, then we can do a motion to.
I don't have any objection, so I'll make a motion to accept the 2022 meeting dates.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the 2022 meeting dates as they are here in the handout. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. That's been done. That's been done. Okay, item N, discussion and action. So that's been done too.
N can pass. That's something that the solicitor had brought to the attention of the board when there was a quorum issue. But he has indicated that as there's no longer presently a quorum issue, that can pass for now.
That was, yeah, as he stated then, right. We're next for public comment. Joe, we have anybody in the public?
Nope, everybody has left that was here from the public. It's just the board members that are here.
Okay.
I'll make a
We'll
motion to
skip.
adjourn.
I was gonna say, well, let's skip P and go to Z. Nobody's got a sense of humor, huh? Okay, there's a motion.
Seconded?
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any ayes out there? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. I understand this is your last meeting, Jim. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you and best of luck.
Yeah, this I wanted to show that I wanted you guys to see, but I gotta put it on the next agenda. That is,
Good night,
I'll
ladies
be
and
down
gentlemen.
to
I'm
get
shutting this
sworn
stuff
in
off.
as soon as
Good
possible.
night.
Good night.
Feel better.
What's that,
Thank
sir?
you.
I think
I said I'll be down to get sworn in as soon as possible. I didn't realize.
Yeah, it'll
8:30
probably,
a.m.
Yeah,
okay,
well,
no problem.
We open at
I get
8:30.
it.
But
All
thank
right,
you for
take
attending
care.
tonight anyway.
All right. Thank you,
Mark,
guys.
when you leave,
Look
can you
forward to
shut
working
the
with you.
amplifier off?
Yeah, I will do that.
All right, we will. Thank you.
Sir.
Okay.
Thanks for your help, Joe.
You're
Thank you,
welcome. Have a good
Joe.
night, everyone.
Joe, I
Good
still
to go.
see that we're live. Does that need to stop?
Everything's shutting off right now.
Thank you. Have a great night.